I've started playing Hollow Knight again, and I hadn't touched it in 4 years or something. But I was watching my friend playing it, and then we were talking about it, and it brought back a sense of nostalgia for a place I had left behind a long time ago. And the funny thing is that I left Hollow Knight 5 minutes before the end, right in front of the Hollow Knight. Spoiler. Who probably wondered if, in his mind already subdued by the infection, there was still room for thought. Why my determination faded precisely when I was about to take the final step? Yeah, why? Why did I stop playing Hollow Knight? It was probably boredom. My run was already at around 25 hours, and I had explored a large portion of what the insect kingdom had to offer, and maybe I was sabotaged by one of my favorite psychological traps. Cause you see, when I really appreciate a game, there's a part of me that wants to complete it fully, and that's understandable. But there is also the desire to do it in a very specific way, leaving the final boss for last. Doing all the side activities, all the collectibles, meeting every character 100%, and then the final boss. Why do I do this? I think it comes back from some subconscious images from my younger years, when I played my very first games on the PlayStation 1. I remember that finishing the main story made me feel lonely. Alone, in the fantasy world I was inhabiting. It's weird, right? And I wonder if the developers ever imagined that their rich, activity-filled, dopamine-heavy fantasy worlds could make someone feel lonely. But think about it, you beat the final boss, and the story is over. Sure, there are still places to visit, side activities left to do, but your mission is complete. Your digital alter ego, if it could, it would probably take a vacation, because even they, at that moment, are suffering from having no objective left, a lack of meaning. And so are we, as gamers. But anyway, long story short, Hollow Knight never finished, mental traps, blah blah blah. I reached the boss, and overwhelmed by my desire to see everything, I ended up killing the other desire, the simple one, of just playing. It's deep, bro, I know. So that's why I abandoned Hollow Knight. But I'm actually glad I abandoned Hollow Knight, because the feeling of coming back to it was incredible. It was the wonder of seeing Hallownest again, what remains of it, the ruin of an empire, decay, death, disease, and above all the melancholy of the soundtrack of a truly stunning beauty. All of this made even more intense by the memories of my old playthrough. Revisiting places I had already seen, especially small and large secrets hidden in the most remote corners, made me think, wait, what was here again? And when did this appear? And that faded memory created that hype, that curiosity, and it awakened my desire to discover. And that feels almost magical, because this curiosity, this feeling of exploring a world that slowly reveals itself to you, is perhaps the main reason why I play video games at all. And it's interesting because sometimes I think that forgetting things is like losing them. That I should make an effort to remember, that I need to lock everything away in a vault, because if I forget something, what was the point of leaving it in the first place? What's the point of watching hours and hours of Vatividia's videos about Dark Souls lore if I never remember it? Or what's the point of having watched all of Attack on Titan if just days after the final season I can barely recall any of the main plot events? And yet, no matter how much importance I give to these fragile threads of memory, at some point, probably while I'm studying for an exam or learning a new recipe, my brain decides that information about the birth of the first flame is no longer useful. And poof, it's gone. Dissolved like sand in water. It's terrifying. But I think the gift of fading memory is this, that I can go back to Hollow Knight and experience deep emotions almost as if it were my first playthrough. Slowly remembering, step by step, events, mechanics, characters, enemies I had encountered in the past, reliving them, and being able to think once again, damn, Hollow Knight truly is amazing.